All right. Yeah. All right, everybody. It's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and I just want to say something. I don't know if any of you, you know, find it odd that someone who has deconverted from Christianity is calling himself the Critical Thinking Christian, but it's kind of a play on words. I don't know if I said this before in any videos, but it's I'm a critical thinking Christian, meaning I read the Bible and I critically thought about what I was reading and found out that a lot of it just, you know, smells of bullshit. So that's why I call myself critical thinking, because most Christians are not critical thinking. I'm going to talk about a video that I was watching. Uh, as you can see, decentering is the topic of this video, and I got this from thenon-alchemist, who had a video on the toughest part of leaving the faith is decentering from what you believe. Okay, you believe, you're taught this your whole life, you believe this, or for however long you were a Christian, and you now have moved from that center over to another belief, and it's difficult because of how conditioned you were to believe this. Say the origin of mankind. You believe that this God, now I do believe in a theistic evolution. So I do believe there's a God who created it, but not the God of the Bible. So, and I don't have any book that tells me what that God wants us to believe in. I believe he just created everything the way it's supposed to be, and then we have within ourselves the abilities and potential, and we have the choice. We can make the choice to either use it or not use it, to waste our life or to make something of our life. So, I guess you could say that there's part of one of the elements that I have had a problem with when I deconverted, because I have to rely on me like I had always had to rely on me, and it's kind of early in the morning here. It ain't really that early. I normally get up at 2:30 in the morning, but I got up later, and when I get up later, I'm kind of like, ugh. When I get up at 2:30, I'm like, oh, okay, ready to go. But anyway, my reliance on like prayer, because I was taught you got to pray, you got to rely on God. Okay, I said in a video or two about trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into thine own understanding, and all thy ways acknowledge him and let him direct thy path, which means don't think for yourself. He's going to do it for you. He'll think for you, which is total bullshit. Because, I was thinking about, sometimes I have that where, well, who can I rely on? I can't pray to God now, so who can I rely on? And then I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, okay, now, let's just take when I bought a house. When you buy a house, you have things you need to do. I have yard work. I have to do plumbing and electrical repairs, paneling. So you have these things that you need to do that you don't really need to pray about. I never prayed about, I think sometimes I did. I prayed that I'd get my work done. But then there were times I went out and I didn't pray about getting my work done, and I got my work done. But then there were other things that I wanted to pray about, like making money online, going into something where I can make extra money. And then I'd pray about that. And even if I started it, most times something would happen to where it wouldn't work. And I'd think, well, maybe God don't want me to do this, because I didn't really get an answer. I didn't get a yay or a nay or whatever you got to get to feel like, okay, or believe that this is a path he wants you to go on. So with me, most of the time, it was I'm not allowed to do it. And mainly that came from, and I know there are Christians that are going to watch this video, they're going to jump on this. from my home life where I wasn't really allowed to do much. I was at home, okay? Now, when I went to school, I was able to go to school and hang around with people and stuff like that. But when I came home, I didn't get to go out, mainly because those people were not Christians and I wasn't allowed to be with them. So summer times was just spent with me and my family. Uh, so I wasn't allowed. And I had that with God, where I wasn't allowed, where he was like, looked down and going, you better not do that. So most of the, answers to prayer that I felt I got were no. But I still had that reliance where I feel like sometimes a residual effect will come in and I'll feel like, well, I can't really pray to God about this. And I think, no, you got to figure it out yourself. Which is what, the times that you didn't pray to him and you did shit, that's the same as the other stuff you want to do. So, you don't need to rely on that guy because he never did shit for you. So that was my problem, where it was a prayer, okay, talking to someone. Some people that are really active in the church, where they're there every time the doors are open, and they're part of this and they're part of that, and helping out here and helping out there, and they need that. If they deconstruct, if they deconvert, that there is a hard thing. I'm a loner, okay? I'm content being alone. So if those people would, say, hey, why don't you come to church? We'd like to see you. I don't want to see you. I don't care. But those people are going to have a hard time because they need that. And I'm going to say this. Women, I think, are more inclined to be Christians based on the community. They have the community, and the community is what a woman is drawn to. She's drawn to that, women, they like attention. She gets attention. She's active. She gets to do things. It's kind of it gives her purpose. I think I said something about my mother. My mother, when she was a child, didn't have parents that were around most of the time because they were Depression era people. They grew up during the Depression, and Depression era people are work. You got to work to make money. You got to work. And they were there at the place of employment, their job, all the time, 6 days a week. So they would give my mom to the uncle. Well, they were there at work all the time too, because they were from the Depression. So my mom was with my great grandmother, her grandmother. And religion gave her purpose. It was there. Jesus was there for her. God was there for her. She, had someone who gave a damn about her. Okay, she had the grandma, and then she had religion, because it was there. Her parents weren't. And she would talk about that throughout her whole life. She never got over that. So it didn't really solve any problems because it bothered her. And, okay, your parents ain't around. I kind of wish my parents wouldn't have been around when I was younger, so I could be, you can go the hell away, and maybe I'll go someplace and actually have friends, But, so, people have different aspects and elements of Christianity that when they deconvert are going to really cause problems, okay? You're leaving your belief in origins, in, say, what you are told you need to do and how you need to go about it, salvation, what you need to do to get to heaven. So now you're like, well, what do I do? Well, do what you were normally doing without believing in that shit. Okay? go to your job, do whatever you need to do, act whatever activities, and just, slowly, it'll, over time it will pass. I mean, I still, like I said, I still have times where the damn, uh, I feel like, I ought to maybe pray. You have that feeling that, okay, it's like, and I'm like, God, that's pathetic. Because as a man, it's like, yeah, I don't need you. Okay, if I can figure it out, I don't need you. And since I'm not trying to figure any of that shit out, uh, I don't need it. My brother-in-law, say my brother-in-law would deconvert. He is a prophecy nut. This guy is just prophecy, 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 prophecy. If he'd deconvert, holy shit, what could he find to fill that void? Because now he doesn't have any purpose. See, if it gives you purpose, you feel like it's worth something. Okay, I used to drink quite a bit. And up until, I think it was April, I still had a problem where I just, if I was doing work, I was cleaning up the basement or whatever, I'd just drink beer. I just drink while I was working. And some weekends I drink 4, some weekends I drink 16, until finally and I told myself, well, this here will help me to get more work done since I'm tired and I'm beat up, It gave me a purpose, gave me a reason to drink. And I finally said, to hell with this. I'm going to drink 1 beer a day, 2 on Fridays, and that's it. I don't need it. And sometimes I almost forget to drink 1 beer a day. It's like, oh, yeah, well, whatever. But, yeah, so, like I said, my problem was with praying to this God, and like there was somebody there. But, looking at it, I realized most of the time I didn't even was he there? If he was there and he didn't do much and he didn't help me. Now people will say, well, if you're praying, you might have things in the way. Okay, this all-powerful God can't get the fuck around any of them things, go through it, go under it, go over it. I mean, if he's a spirit, he can just pass right through what the hell's in the way, can't he? I mean, didn't Jesus, after he was rose from the dead, didn't he walk through a wall? So this is bullshit too. God has these things in the way, or maybe you're not a Christian. Maybe. Speculation. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to talk about another thing that I saw on this video. This woman on here, which is typical of Christians. This woman commented on the non-alchemist video. The reason so many Christians doubt and fall away is because they do not really know and understand the gospel or the Bible. And Christians are in quotes, meaning I really know and understand the gospel or the Bible, but you don't. But what she's doing here is she was spoon-fed this, okay? A preacher, an evangelist, apologist, they spoon-fed this to her, and now she's, spitting it back out at us. And I went over to her channel, and I didn't see any content. So I think what she needs to do is, get some content to just prove to us. And she also said in another comment, God did not expect us to blindly believe Christianity. He gave us prophecy to validate its authenticity. No other religion has that. Look into it. All other reasoning is just fooling yourself. Well, sounds to me like spoon feeding again. I was spoon fed, and that's what I was taught by this preacher, even evangelist or apologist, and I'm just spitting out what they told me, You know, so this here gives her purpose. She needs to believe that she's right and that you're wrong, and that the reason you left is because you just didn't understand or believe. Well, for those of us who have deconverted, the conditioning, and especially if it's from childhood, okay, and despite how I would be falling away and then coming back, backsliding and coming back, backsliding and coming back, the conditioning is strong, very strong, and which is belief. You believe it, okay? So this woman is just way off because she hasn't deconverted. I hope she deconverts one of these days and realizes, holy crap. But that's pretty much what I'm going to, say today. This here was just off the cuff. I saw the video and just decided to throw this out. You're probably like, I know I kind of went down a few rabbit trails, but hey, I'm not out to make perfect videos. I'm not out to make, I'm trying to do stuff right now. In this video, as you saw, I have text. Wait a minute. Yeah, it would be text, and because I tried that, and I hope that works good. So I'm trying to learn more stuff, but that's pretty much all I have for today, and I'm going to be back maybe today with another video, and that's pretty much it. So until next time, this is David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.